Alright, here's another episode of Does 4-inch 9mm rival a snub-nose 357 Magnum? And today what I have is the Hornady American Gunner ammunition. The 9mm is a +P, it's a 124 grain +P, and it's rated at 1,175 feet per second. I believe that's with a 4-inch barrel. The Hornady 357 Magnum is rated at 1,500 feet per second. However, I believe that's in an 8-inch barrel, which is pretty uncommon. So we're going to see how the 357 125 grain XTP American Gunner compares to the 124 grain +P 9mm. I think we'll probably get close to listed velocity in the 9mm, but probably not even close in the 357 Magnum. However, that's kind of what I'm on a quest to find, is to find kind of a lower powered 357 Magnum. It's going to be a little bit more controllable in a snub-nose revolver. So we're going to shoot through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity we get and accuracy at the same time. And as always, we're going to go through the juggernaut box, which is 4 layers of denim followed by 1 3/4 inches of bologna to simulate flesh, followed by 3/8-inch particle board to simulate bone, ribs, sternum, and to water jugs to catch that bullet. So we'll see what we get. So let's get started with the test. Alright, first up is the 9mm 124 grain +P from about 5 yards. We'll see what kind of accuracy and velocity we get. It's rated at 1,175 feet per second. We'll see if we get close to rated velocity. 1140, 1125, 1143, 1120, and 1156. So yes, they were a little bit optimistic with that velocity. Pretty easy to shoot, but for some reason my group is kind of spreading in the windage a little bit. Now we'll see how the 357 Magnum compares. Alright, 357 Magnum American Gunner. We'll see if we get close to that 1,500 feet per second out of the 2-inch barrel. I highly doubt we will. But typically when you have a rate of velocity like that with most manufacturers, you should get 1,250 or more in a 2-inch barrel. So we'll see what we get with the Hornady American Gunner. $11.83, 11.16, 11.33, 11.16 again, 11.28. So a little bit less than rate of velocity. However, I would say that this is actually fairly pleasant to shoot in this revolver. A lot of the rounds I get to the point of the recoil pushing it back so much that actually the front of my trigger finger will slam into the front of the trigger guard. So you get kind of a double negative thing going on. But on that, we did not get that on the front of my finger. Just normal recoil going into the web of my hand, and pretty easy to shoot. So let's see what we get in the ballistic test. Do the 4 layers of denim, 1 3/4 inches of bologna, 3/8-inch particle board, and water jugs. We'll see how that 9mm compares to the 357 Magnum. Alright, here's the 9mm 124 grain +P American Gunner. We'll see what it does to the bologna and to water jugs. And we got a lot of bologna actually coming out of the pack. That's actually pretty good. It's quite the mess of bologna. Pretty good performance, I would say. Clean hole through the particle board as to be expected. And jug 1, pretty good frontal impact damage. Clean hole at the back of the first jug. Jug 2, we have a hole in that, and the core is sticking out the back of jug 2. That's pretty interesting. So we did get jacket separation, but we have a hole in jug 3. No damage in jug 4. So we caught it in jug 3. And here we are. Quite a bit of jacket separation, but lead didn't fragment or anything like that. Not terrible performance, but certainly not the best that you want to see. certainly would not stand up to any type of law enforcement protocol. Now let's see how the 357 Magnum compares. Alright, let's see how the 357 Magnum American Gunner does. I would assume that we'd have similar performance considering the bullet weight's almost the same, pretty close velocities. But we'll see what we get with the 357 Magnum, if there's any difference. And I can say, looking right now, there is a little bit of a difference here. And we didn't separate much baloney from the pack, but the damage looks pretty similar, and the hull through the particle board looks pretty similar. The difference I am seeing is with the first jug, it does look like more damage. And the hole at the back actually removed a little bit of plastic, as where it did not with the 9mm. Jug 2. And it looks like we're drifting upward for some reason. The impact on jug 3 is a little bit higher, but we do have the bullet in jug 3. And here's the bullet, and we did not get jacket separation, which is pretty interesting. I would have assumed that we would have, but for whatever reason we did not get jacket separation with the 357 Magnum. So overall, even though the 357 Magnum is not really at its rated velocity, I would say overall it was a good shooter and performed well. Pretty controllable to shoot, and we got decent performance. The 9mm, is really nothing wrong with it necessarily, but we did get jacket separation and quite a bit below rated velocity, and they did rate that in a 4-inch barrel, so definitely below rated velocity. It's about 67 degrees out now, so we should have got rated velocity. So that's what you get between the 357 Magnum American Gunner and the 9mm American Gunner. Both are, just kind of run-of-the-mill. I would say the 357 Magnum did a little bit better, but not really by a whole lot. But it is pretty inexpensive ammunition, so if you had nothing else to choose from, it would be usable. It does its job. It slowed down pretty well. I think it stopped in, the 3rd jug? So it didn't over-penetrate, and that's something good. Pretty good accuracy, and that didn't over-penetrate. That's a lot to be said for a round. So that's what you get with the American Gunner, 57 mag versus 9mm plus P. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.